In this video, we are going to talk about the half angle identities. So with the half angle identities, um, if you look at the left-hand side on all of these half angle identities, you'll see the expression x over 2, right? So dividing something by 2 is like taking half of it. So each of these identities tell you how to find a trigonometric function of half of an angle in terms of some other trigonometric functions of the angle itself. So you'll notice over on the right hand sides of all of these identities, you'll see just x on the right hand side. Okay. Um, so on there's one for sine, one for cosine, and 3 for tangent. Okay. You'll notice on several of these they have the plus and minus on here. So anytime you have one of these plus or minuses, then you're going to have be aware of which one to pick. So it's on you. You need to pick either the positive one or negative one depending on some criteria. Okay, and so we'll get into how you make those choices in the examples. So on these two for sine and cosine, you're going to have to choose. If you use this one for tangent of x over 2, then you're going to have to make a choice. You'll notice, though, that these expressions over here, they do not involve the plus or minus. So if you're using one of these identities, and remember when I'm writing it this way to save space, this is actually, 3 separate identities. Tan of x over 2 is equal to this, tan of x over 2 is equal to this, tan of x over 2 is equal to this. So again, I'm just writing this to save space, and that's how it's also written on the identity sheet over here. If you use one of these two, then you don't have to worry about the plus minus, which is nice, right? But you'll see there's sort of a price that you pay, and that you have to know both the sine and the cosine. Here, if you only know the cosine, then you can use this identity, but you'll have to make the choice between plus or minus for this one. If you know the cosine, well, then it's not that hard to figure out the sine, right? Using the fundamental identity. But this one, if you use this identity, then you wouldn't have to do that. But you pay the price in the sense that you'll have to figure out whether it's the plus or minus one. Okay. All right, so these are the half angle identities, and what we are going to do in the next video is to take a look at how these are used.